All right, so in this video clip of the boys, I'm just getting a quick clear. It's really a note, but I want you to listen to the micro cadence in Homelander's voice, where he talks about he's read up on Dr. Martin Luther King. He was persecuted for telling the truth, like me, crazy. When he says "like me, crazy," that part, if you look at if you pay attention to the vocal incantation or the influence means, or inspiration means, in the spirit of, his voice was in the spirit of Donald Trump. Now, Donald Trump speaks in this cadence, and I just thought it was interesting. Okay, this is like a micro nuance, okay, of what I mean in between the trees, or when you could hear the spirit within certain things. And it's just interesting pertaining to the type of character that Homelander plays and the type of scene that's being depicted in this particular scene, which I'm not going to get into. But he knows that this character, the Deep, okay, is not into seafood because, he's like an ocean. He's an ocean guy. He's into sea life and what have you. So he's doing this in, to kind of knock on the Deep. And he used the word deepen. Whatever he says before, he used the word deep or deepen to connotate the deep. In other words, he was making a smart remark or gesture, or was being subtle pertaining to the deep in the current situation at hand. And if in such that he was being this subtle in his cadence, I also want you to pay attention to the micro nuance or the micro cadence in his voice when he speaks about Martin Luther King is in the connotation of Trump, right? So it's kind of interesting in correlation to Homelander's character being connotated with Nazis in association with Stormfront, because he dated Stormfront. Stormfront was a Nazi, not him, but the woman that he was particularly dating was a Nazi in the season 2. All right, so when he brings up Martin Luther King and he has a cadence such as Trump's, and we know that Trump is hypothetically, it has been rumored to be a traveler. I'll say like that, a traveler. There's been photos of Trump in different time periods. All right, in a different time period, and the type of things that he says and what have you. This micro cadence could be a major indication pertaining to fans that if they listen in correlation to his subtlety of how he's getting on his character's head, the Deep, and he's talking about Martin Luther King and how he has shallow views pertaining to racism and being a Nazi or being associated with the Nazi Stormfront, and Trump being a time traveler. If you correlate all of these things together, I'm just putting this out here as a micro expression, micro nuance, micro incantation of Donald Trump, for individuals out there. And like I said, I'm not Democrat or Republican. I don't even vote. All right. But I want people to make a wise decision, because pride becomes before the fall. And right now, during the first debate and certain things that's going on with Trump passing all of these allegations in court and what have you, like he's doing the Heisman, it's like he's either made a sacrifice or he's Leviathan himself. He's basically unstoppable. For those who are not privy of the Bible, we'll connotate this with King David and what have you, being able to overcome all these circumstances and be in the face of a Christian country, so on and so forth. But the fact of the matter is this, man. If you take Biden and you take Trump, you know what I'm saying? One has public relations humility and the other has true humility. You don't see Biden tripping over his image, and public relations in the extent of resolving issues. You know, all the memes made about him falling, so on and so forth. You know, he don't really trip on that. You know, and I don't mean to pun that. You know what I'm saying? But like, he's not tripping on that. He has a humble approach and pertains more to dealing with people's issues in America, so on and so forth. So I just want to point that out. And in season 2, Homelander got into a debacle, was jealous of Stormfront because Stormfront, you know, was paying, you know, individuals in food stamps, or not food stamps, excuse me, some type of like discount cards and, you know, get things for free type cards, or gift cards. She was paying individuals in gift cards to make memes online, to solidify her core base. And she explained to Homelander how to do this, how to create soldiers out of his fans, and how he was overpaying his marketing team while she just paid some of her core audience, you know what I'm saying, to generate memes in her favor. You know what I'm saying? We see this same connection between, you know, President Joseph Biden and Donald Trump. There's so many memes and bad public relation or bad publicity that is superficial pertaining to Joe Biden, and with Donald Trump, we just see a mountain of public relations pertaining to this man is innocent, and this man is innocent is trying to cast down the amount of pride that Donald Trump has. It's not really subtle, and it's a case for his innocence, mind you, where why would you need a case for your innocence? And all of these several cases, or even all of these several allegations, to make it appear as if there is some type of oppression battling him so that he can become the people's choice, when really he is prideful, okay? And he is as Leviathan. You know, between him and Joseph Biden, it is like David and Goliath. And that's just a backdrop of what I'm saying in this scene, of how he has the hubris to use subtlety to disrespect this team member and manipulate him that he's just brought back onto the team, whilst at the same time using a micro expression. If you listen closely to how he's speaking in that cadence, it is the exact same. It is the same as Donald Trump. It's exactly the same. If you have an ear for these types of things as I have, but my gift is communication, and I wish to share that gift as much as possible so that people could be the wiser in making discerning decisions, no matter what decision you make. But, you know, pertaining to Black people and in the connotation of Trump and current events, and this series being released a season ago before this presidential election or these debates that are going, okay, prior to the presidential election, is quite interesting. And I just wanted to point that out. But it's a short clip, and what you'll have to do if you want to hear it over and over again is to try to catch an ear for it, or learn an ear for micro expressions, then you'll have to rewind it, okay? But I'm going to play it once over, okay? Because he says, that's crazy. And you know, that is one of the things that Trump says. So this is just a commentary on the brilliance of The Boys, which is released on Amazon Prime, all right, which is in the legal stipulations for me to post this on YouTube while mentioning that. It's just a commentary and a short scene that is no longer than 10 seconds, not even 10 seconds, all right? So this is completely legal. Do not strike my video. Do not take it down, or there's going to be problems, all right? Thank you.
Dr. Martin Luther King.
Right here.
Well, my relationship with King is deepened of late.
Deepened, pointing at him.
He was villainized, persecuted, spoke truth to
Villainized,
power, just
persecuted.
like me. It's crazy. But we've both been to the mountaintop.
Villainized, persecuted, just like me. That's crazy. That's just crazy. Okay, that's Donald Trump style. All right, and then it points back to the scene showing the discomfort of the deep is the name of this character, which he said he has deepened something pertaining to Martin Luther King. But you can see, as one of the marketing PR individuals is eating this seafood or whatever, which is making the deep uncomfortable. This is just pointing to that same persecuting, the fork, putting a fork in something, okay, being done. And in the last episode that was released before this one, Homelander pointed out the fact that he was being persecuted and played discriminated against for his strength as being a superhero. Okay. So, his popularity went up 21, his base popularity went up 21% when he just started exuding pride and all sorts of the matter. Now, when you look at the difference with the American public, with the marketing firm, this was released last season. Okay. Now, when Donald Trump, this individual is prone to pride. All right. In the book of Obadiah, the country that exalts itself like an eagle is taken out in 1 hour. We also had the movie The Book of Eli was released. So I want people to be very careful on who they vote for, because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? We're kind of like up next. Okay. We've gotten some warning signs. A lot of natural disasters, what have you, has happened in America this year. And we need to be very wise, okay, with what we choose, which would directly link to Donald Trump. I know individuals don't understand what they're looking at pertaining to cloaks and what have you, but he kind of looks like a bird. Okay, he kind of looks like a bird. Maybe I just say crazy things. Maybe it means something. Maybe it doesn't. Okay, but I want you to just pay attention that at the end of that, he says he's done. And you have Homelander that represents Homeland of America sitting next to the deep. And both of these are superpowers. So you're talking about America that exalts itself as the eagle, okay, which it correlates with a certain race, okay, and you have him sitting next to the deep, okay, which correlates with the deep state, the superpower of the deep state and what have you. So the people do still really have the power, but I want you to pay attention to this. If there is hypothetically a so-called submersive Hydra group that operates behind the veil as Operation Paperclip and what have you, do they have the same interest as you as an individual, as a minority, so on and so forth? Okay, I want you to meditate on that, okay, before you make your decision to vote as well, because the deep represents the deep state. And I would challenge those who have different interests pertaining to their party, whether it's a hive or groupthink, this situation. How do you know you have freedom if you're told who to vote for? Okay, in other words, everything is being pushed against Biden, and everything has been pushed for Trump. For the public opinion and perception would be to vote for Trump, hands down, without anything else. Now, when we get into situations pertaining to the public vote, whether it matters, whether it was manipulated, and all of these things that we found correlating with Trump, with the election that he was involved in, okay, and we have this situation here. The only way you can figure out that you have power as American people is if you vote for President Joseph Biden, because it goes against the marketing machine and the marketing beast and all the other beasts, so on and so forth, seems to be rallying behind the time traveler Trump. Peace and blessings be with you all. Okay, this is a excerpt backdrop that was no longer than 5 seconds of the boys Season 3, Barbary Coast. All right. Peace and blessings be with you all. I'm out.